and a payday Friday. Maybe it's a payday Friday for you. Well, Ime Udoka is probably going to be losing pay after getting ejected. The chippiness that just kept escalating. You saw a team that was able to harness it in the Kings, and you saw a team that really the Houston, we have a problem. The Rocket blew up, if you will. Let's start here, Kyle. Let's start with the initial chippiness as Dillon Brooks and De'Aaron Fox get into it. De'Aaron's basically saying that's a flop. De'Aaron puts his finger, to be fair, people don't like that. De'Aaron put his finger in Dillon Brooks' face. Dillon Brooks did not like that. Jabari Smith Jr. gets into it. The refs kept saying the wrong names for the text. They thought it was De'Aaron Fox. Then they thought it was Malik Monk. But here is Mark Jones describing everything that's happening.
It looks to me, and he's saying it's a flop, and then Dillon Brooks takes his finger, obviously.
Okay, we've seen...
It's going to escalate the situation.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before. Smith chimes in as well. De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
Okay, we got to cut that. De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now. That's a great drop from Mark Jones. So that's how it started. And I'm trying to remember here, Kyle. Then you have, once that happened, there were a couple Dillon Brooks things where that happened. I think almost right after that, he gets trucked by Sabonis. There's no call. Sabonis gets a basket on him. There's one point where he's jumping up and down at the ref.
So you missed one thing, which is right after that happened. So right after they hit the text, the Rockets get the ball back. It was 42-39 at that point.
He hit a three.
Yeah, immediately hits a three, immediately flashes something to the crowd.
Yes,
I don't know what it was,
right,
but something to the crowd. And then all of that happens, and then Jalen Green hits the 4-point play and one from three.
Right.
And that leads to a timeout right after that.
And then during the timeout, this is from Frankie Carcelli. He caught the end of it. This went on for, it felt like a very long time. It felt like about 2 to 3 minutes. This went on. And again, shout out to everyone that handles the operations for Golden One Center and for the Kings. It felt like this happened pretty darn organically, but Slamson came up to the media section yesterday, by the way. We said, what's up? I was supposed to take a picture because my wife loves Slamson, but I froze. I got stage fright from Slamson. Slamson is with a random baby in the crowd, and the whole thing happens organically to where the crowd cheers whenever they see Slamson and this baby, and then the cameraman then cuts to Dillon Brooks, and then there's an immediate boo. So this ping pong happens. I'm telling you, we only have about 20 seconds of it, but it happened for about 2 minutes. Then at one point they show the refs. The refs get booed. So here it is.
That's Dillon Brooks. That's the baby. Dillon Brooks. Baby. Referees. Baby.
It's great. It's great. Great stuff from everyone involved, including the crowd. They deserve to finally see a beam, and everybody did, and I'm sure you could see it because, like we said, it is girthy right now. And the question really is, as we'll hear from Malik Monk and a lot of different people, even Mark Jones, De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now. How do you get that De'Aaron Fox more often?
De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
How do you get this guy more often?
De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
That's what we're looking for. And I get it. 82 games. You can't be hyphy, as they say back in the Bay Area, every single night. You can't be on 100, on 1,000 every single night. But I think Carmichael Dave said it best. Can we get 70 games of that? Because that De'Aaron Fox is getting the Supermax.
De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
That De'Aaron Fox is getting the Supermax. That's right.
De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
But how often are we going to see that De'Aaron Fox? That's the question.
Well, we got it right now.
De'Aaron Fox is not to be played with right now.
Now you go to Memphis tomorrow. We'll talk about that more obviously tomorrow. And you face another team. The Grizzlies are 4th in the West. Can you keep this going? Because if everybody is acknowledging that, Malik Monk acknowledged it. De'Aaron Fox acknowledged it. He said, yeah, people don't talk trash to me often, and there's a reason for that. They didn't say anything to me after what went down. So it's all there, but we need that more often. This team is 10-12. You're trying to get back where you need. This is desperation time, to that 916's point. We're enjoying this W. Don't get us wrong. But this is desperation time. How do you get there? How do you get there? Let's get to Ashley, 916-339-1140, wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Ashley? What you got for us?
Not a whole lot. Just really happy with how the game went yesterday. It was really disappointing, like I said the other day, when we lost to the Spurs, especially when we had the points in the paint differential we had. I think that's the first time I ever saw such a big differential in points in the paint, and that team not win. So it was great to see the Kings come out with a great win yesterday against a team I honestly didn't expect much for the Kings against, based off of how things went yesterday or last year. I'm super, super excited with what I saw from Isaac Jones, and I think that he's going to be a key contributor going forward. And as far as how we unlock that, Fox, I think I'm going to put it on Malik Monk. I'm going to say, hey, he's your buddy. Go over him, get in his ear a little bit as a friend, don't go too far, but, get in his ear a little bit and get him ready for the game.
Great stuff, Ashley. Ashley, don't talk about anybody's family or anything like that, but whatever it is you got to do to get De'Aaron Fox going. Quick look. Nothing really changed from the standings point of view. The Kings are 6.5 games back to Oklahoma City Thunder, 16-5. That's just who they are. But to be fair, Houston Rockets 15-7. And one of those 7 losses against your Sacramento Kings. So they're now 1.5 games back of the Thunder. You have the Warriors, who are completely free-falling as we get to that second tier, the play-in group, if you will. Golden State Warriors are 12-8. The Denver Nuggets are 11-8. The Los Angeles Lakers are 12-9. The San Antonio Spurs 11-10, and the Timberwolves, a couple less games, 10-10. Then you have the Kings at 10-12. So yeah, I mean, the reality is they did dig themselves a bit of a hole, but you make your bed, you got to lie in it. So how are you going to turn things around? Last night was a great start, but you got to continue it. A lot of what we heard when we listened to Mike Brown and when you hear from the guys is you got to bring this every single night. Whoever we talk to today in that 12 o'clock hour, I guarantee you it's going to be a lot of, hey, we can't let this be a one-off. That was the vibe last night. Everybody, yes, it felt different because we'd been on a skid here, but this has to be the standard. It can't be a one-off where, wow, look what the Kings did, because that's not winning basketball. Now, some of the things is Malik going to have 12 assists tonight? No. But the things that you can replicate, you have to if you want to be one of the premier teams in this league. All right, could this be the start of the turnaround? We discuss what happened last night in detail, and we get back into the infamous